Welcome
To the middle of nowhere.
Episode 2. Why the middle of nowhere?
Why indeed?
Why? Why would you pick the middle of nowhere?
Did we pick the middle of nowhere?
We didn't pick the middle of nowhere. After a certain amount of time of being here and some enlightening moments, we realized that the middle of nowhere picked us.
It did.
And we're good with that. We're fine with that. Sort of like when you go and find an animal, a stray or something, you don't necessarily pick them, they pick you. So it's kind of like that with places that you intend to spend the rest of your life, right?
A stray home.
Yeah. Stray home. Anyway, so for years, as Bob's retirement was encroaching, I spent a lot of time looking, where can we retire, or where, what? Colorado. Nope. It's way too expensive. Northern New Mexico, where we lived. Nope. Way too expensive. Looked at some in Texas. Looked at some up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Even contemplated Vermont.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, or the New England area. Nope. But we have a son that lives here and resides.
Still do.
In Missouri, and his beautiful wife. We didn't get to spend much time with Tom because he'd been in the military for 20 years, and we only saw him on very brief and short, meaningful occasions. And we're like, you know what? It'd be kind of neat to retire closer to Tom somewhere so we could make up for some lost time, which there was a lot of lost time, 20 plus years of only seeing. There were some times we didn't see him for a couple years, and 3 years I think was one of the longest. And that hurt my heart. So we started looking in Missouri. I made a trip out by myself to visit Tom and his wife. And I was like, I think it's kind of pretty here. I think we could do this. So I showed Bob pictures. I started looking all over Missouri. Well, within a 50-mile radius, pretty much, of where Tom lives. And Bob and I took a trip out so that Bob could see Missouri. And he liked it. What do we like about it? The water, the
Colors.
lakes, the colors,
Green.
the green.
Life.
Green is so green your eyes can't even absorb all the green. So we both liked that a lot. The people, extremely kind, friendly, down home kind of really nice people. So started looking more and more and more, and still it took a couple years. And I would show Bob a picture of a house or something, or send Tom off on a jaunt to look at some house.
Go look at this house for us.
And it just wasn't clicking. And then one day, just wasn't even really looking in the middle of nowhere for a house. This popped up on my thing, on my phone. I'm like, where's this place? Never heard of it. Started looking at it, showed it to Bob. Yeah, this looks like everything we want. Acreage, and we want a house, and we want, rural. And before you know it, we bought the place, and we bought the farm, and a couple months later, we moved here. That's a different, longer story. But so we arrived in this beautiful place. And even once we arrived here, we did not even really quite realize we were in the middle of nowhere. What makes it the middle of nowhere? How did we realize we were in the middle of nowhere?
Man, you step outside and you look around and you go, man, we're in the middle of nowhere.
There's nothing
There's nothing here
no.
but us.
And every person that has come to visit us step out of the car with kind of this beleaguered look on their face, kind of their eyes rolling around in their head, and they're like, dang, Mima, you live in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, I was aware of that. I
Yeah.
recently became aware of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is the middle of nowhere. You have to go on a road trip to go to the grocery store, the doctor, the thing, whatever. It's a road trip. Unless you just want to hang out here, and then you just got a whole lot of area to play and enjoy. And we love being in the middle of nowhere because one of the criteria we were looking for our retirement home was elbow room. We didn't want to see neighbors over the fence. We didn't want to hear them. We didn't want, and that we have. And it is a joy to step out of my front door in the morning and look out and see a forest. Because not only do we live in the middle of nowhere, we live in the middle of a national forest. Well, I don't know about the middle of it, but we live in the boundaries of a national forest. So we have
Mark Twain National Forest.
we have trees. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful all year round. It's doing different things. It's changing and lovely, and
A lot of wild animals.
wild animals we see, flora and fauna. We got foxes, we got deer, raccoons, skunks, gophers, possums, armadillos,
Lizard
turtles,
AKA
snakes.
groundhogs. Snakes.
Snakes
yeah.
will be a good topic for another day. But, and a plethora of bugs and insects. So I guess those are kind of the things that make you realize you're in the middle of nowhere. The fact of the matter is, we have declared it the middle of nowhere. We have called it. And if any of you would choose to disagree, feel free to comment, and we'll take you up on your argument about whether you think you're in the middle of nowhere or we're in the middle of nowhere. But we are going to stand firm. We're in the middle of nowhere. And that's fact.
And we admit that's arguable. And that's okay.
But you're not going to win. So, thank you all for joining us. This is why. Enjoy our little postcards we show, as we will in each video. I hope you're enjoying our postcards from the middle of nowhere. Like, subscribe, share, get your friends to join in.
Don't forget the bell.
Don't forget the bell
If you
for
want
notifications.
notifications for whenever we post a video,
And
you're welcome to leave comments. We will address every comment.
we will. And just
Promise you.
be looking forward to more rootin' tootin' crazy wild YouTube videos from
The middle of nowhere.
the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that could be a song.